I've got the power. I've got the power in me. I've got the power. I've got the power
Hey, welcome to PowerTest24. We're live from Dallas, Texas. I'm Matt with Protec Resources. And to kick off our live show today, I have Ken from Megger. Ken, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Ken Petrov. I'm the Transform Product Manager based out of Valley Forge, Pennsylvania for Megger. I'm here to talk about some of the new tested products we have and some things we've made on some existing products.
Fantastic. We're actually up in Valley Forge back in October and toured your facility. Great, amazing.
It's a new facility in the past couple of years, and we're excited to be able to show it off.
And so tell us some, let's just start with the first thing you want to talk about.
So my main purpose of coming here this week was to introduce the TTRU1. It's Megger's latest handheld turns ratiometer, designed to provide clear results and an easy to understand, always prepared multi-function instrument. We've had handheld TTRs in the past, but we made a number of improvements. First starting with the look and feel of the device, a more robust unit that will survive more hazards out in the field. I mean, we know that guys here can be kind of rough on instruments, so we've improved.
So FedEx.
Yes, yeah. Looking at the lead connectors in the past have been a problem, so we've buffed those up. But then really tried to focus on improvements that make transformer testers' everyday lives easier. One of the things we use are AA nickel metal hydride batteries. AA batteries aren't anything flashy, but we have built-in USB-C charging, so the same cable that you use to charge your phone can be used to charge the device. So that way, whenever you're going into the field, if you notice you have a low charge, you can connect it right to your car charging port and be ready for the day. We segment the model to handle distribution and instrument transformer testing, but with up to 250 volts induced, we can also test power transformers. And we also have the ability to do short circuit impedance with the same device. So trying to bridge the gap between the big multi-function devices into more of the handheld.
So what's kind of size, dimension, weight of the unit?
It is a handheld device, so maybe a little bit bigger than this water bottle here. It comes with a lead bag that you clip to your belt loop. So if you are going up in a bucket truck or you're in tight spaces, you can easily have the instrument there while you make your lead connections and flip it up, run the test, and pack it.
Is that unit available now?
It is available now, yeah. It launched in October of 2023 and has seen quite a bit of interest here today from some of the workers.
Nice. You guys put out a lot of stuff here actually in the last 6 months.
Yes, yeah. I mainly do the transformer side of things. So, of course, we have cable fault testing products, relay testing products.
Yeah, we just got our first ADX in.
Okay.
So
great.
motor testing. Yeah. So good. Yeah, we actually have it on display here in the booth. Actually, yours. We have our own.
Glad to.
Sure, yeah. So what else is new?
Well, listening to a lot of the transformer presentations this week, they're talking about moisture inside transformers and dielectric frequency response. And even though it's been around since 1995, over 30 years, we find that customers still don't maybe understand the technology inside, how it can improve their everyday testing. So a change that we've made with our power factor test set, the Delta 4000, was to revamp how we displayed our ability to test over different frequencies. We found that looking at graphs was sometimes a little complicated. Users didn't really understand what they were looking at. So now we focus mainly on the 60 hertz testing, and then also down at 1 hertz, where at lower frequencies we see conductive losses increase, and it can be used to confirm the measurements that you're seeing at 60 hertz. And in some cases, you can find problems that are developing that 60 hertz simply won't show. So really, that product that's been out now for 14 years, it's more about simplifying the understanding and the technology that's been around for multiple decades into an easy-to-digest format. And you don't have to use any other lead connections. It's the same way you do a power factor test set today. The software is automatically configured to provide this additional information in a short amount of time.
So it's really an upgrade to something that's been out for a while.
Yes.
And are you guys doing like a buyback or a turn-in program for that?
So there's no buyback necessary. This is all software improvements.
Okay.
So a lot of the customers we've had come by today who have the Delta, we are showing them what the new software is doing. So it's mostly just an education process that there is this new way to look at the test data, and we want to make sure that existing users know about that and that new customers can see the benefit of these two pieces of information displayed side by side.
So if somebody wants to look for that, do you have any training materials out online yet?
Yes, absolutely. You can go to 1 Hertz Testing at Mega. That's a dedicated website where we have a YouTube video that explains the benefits. There's also a cool slider that goes back and forth and will show you what is seen at 50 or 60 hertz compared to 1 hertz. And then we have a number of case studies that are presented online. And where 1 hertz really shines is when you're testing bushings. Because if you have the same 3 bushings from the manufacturer in the year that they were they in the same environmental conditions, they should all age the same. And when you start to look at it on this different spectrum of 60 hertz versus 1 hertz, when there is a problem, it sticks out like a sore thumb. And it really helps improve customers' understanding of the benefit of looking at different frequencies.
Got it. So go to the Mega's website.
Go to the Mega website and you'll find all the information.
Are you going to do any live training with that? So conjunction with ABO?
So tomorrow, there are a number of buses taking people here from the Hilton over to Mega's factory for some hands-on training. I believe there's the cable segment, the transformer segment. Unfortunately, I have to leave to get home to my lovely family, but yes, there.
Yeah, mine's just texting me right now.
Yes,
How are you doing? We're doing great.
I told my wife about the live stream. I hope she's watching this. Love you, money. Love you too, Alice, if you're watching. But yeah, there's we have a great TSG team, a great sales force that will do best practices seminars throughout the year. Last year we were at many different locations talking about the products, and that's something that we try to do every year. So look for us coming into your backyard, and we'll be happy to show you the equipment and the advantages that it has.
Yeah, the facility, so Mega here in Dallas has a facility, kind of like your second headquarters, I guess, to Valley Forge.
Correct.
And so ABO operates out of those headquarters. They have a really nice, pretty recently new facility for live training. In fact, we Protec, we joined with ABO and Mega and did the cable testing, 1-day cable testing seminar back, I think that was September. That was really great. We had overflow. Actually, we were having to pull desks in and split up into extra groups, so that was a lot of fun. So we really enjoyed that as well. We like you guys.
Yeah, ABO Diagnostics, ABO Training. That's a great segment of Mega's overall contributions to the electric testing industry. Of course, we have Mega Products, and then we have ABO Diagnostics, which is our oil testing labs. So we're really starting to round out the entire solution that we can provide.
I don't know, Ron, come here. You want to come into our live show? We're actually broadcasting live around the world right now. So that's Ron Jones. If you guys rip from us all the time and you call Ron, he's here now. So fantastic. So Ron's been in the industry a long time, so he knows the Mega line up and down.
I've been with Mega for almost 11 years now, and I learn something new every day. And it shows like this, which really gives us an opportunity to listen to customers and see what challenges that they're having. And shows me ways that as a product manager I can improve the product to again make their everyday lives just a little bit easier.
Any other new things?
From the transformer line, we have a new multifunction instrument that will be coming out very soon. We've done lots of beta trials with that. So it's a little too early to announce it quite yet, but it is coming out very soon. We have a new online small gas monitor, the G2, that looks at acetylene and hydrogen within a transformer. It can also be used as a smoke detector. So again, another facet in Mega where we're trying to round out the complete solutions for customers. We can
A lot of conversation about that just at the show.
Yes, moisture and monitoring transformers and getting the most out of these high value assets. And you can't just rely on offline tests. You can't just rely on oil testing or TGA. You really have to find this marriage between all three of them to get the best information about your asset to make the most informed maintenance decisions. The G2 very soon as well. We have one on display here. As with most things, it's mostly a production and supply chain tuning up before we get ready to launch. So it's exciting news to be coming.
Awesome. Anything else you want to talk about before you head home?
I can't really think of any. I think I covered most of the transformer.
Nice. So that's Megger. Megger has a huge presence here this week. If you want to come by and go see Megger's booth, right down the way from us. All their new stuff is on display, and we have some equipment as well in our booth. So really appreciate you coming by. And thank you for saying hi.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hello. Are you selling anything?
We are live. We are live on YouTube.
Oh,
We
hi.
are
Hello.
live. This is my girl right here.
Hello,
We've
guys.
had a drink or two in our time.
Yes, we have. We've had many.
We were just talking about ABO, and obviously, so we were there in September. I didn't see you.
Oh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so we did that cool one-day seminar, and we were just talking a little bit about what you guys do at ABO. You've got almost a brand new facility. Do
Yeah.
you want to share with us what you guys got going
Oh
on?
my God, we have a huge facility now with bigger training rooms, newer equipment, more relaxed environment, state of the art. State of the art.
It is great, and
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's kind of within Megger's second
Yeah.
headquarters
Right,
here
right.
in Dallas,
Right.
real close to I-30 here,
Mhm.
and almost to downtown. And we were in there in September, and it's absolutely gorgeous. And the instruction was really high level from all from Megger, you guys, us, of
Yeah.
course us. No, well, it wasn't us anymore. It's Tom Sandry who left to go to another company,
Right.
and it's funny because we did a lot of webinars,
Right. Ooh, yeah.
And,
Are y'all
we
picking
got-
that back up?
Everybody asks us
Yeah.
that. So
We need to pick
Tom's
that back up.
traveling a lot now, so we're gonna do a few, and so maybe get through 3 or 4 this year with him. But Tom's got to settle down his travel. But, absolutely, but maybe we need to do something together, like webinar-wise. Yeah. So we need to come up with a good subject.
Yes, we can do, transformer maintenance and testing training,
That'd be a good
circuit
one.
breaker training,
Yeah. So
relays. So
Transformers would be good. I'll tell you why, guys. So I know you guys know we produced a book for Tom, Essential Guide, and everybody at the show got
We
this
run from
book.
you guys all the
Yeah,
time.
so and then
Oh.
That's okay. We're on YouTube or Facebook. Which one around?
we're not on Facebook. We're on YouTube.
Okay,
we're on
YouTube.
LinkedIn.
Okay, LinkedIn.
Yeah. So this is our new one. We just came out with this week. It's Brett. Don't Brett call Brett. I don't know if you can see his Brett.
Oh, that's
There's Brett right there.
cute.
So Brett came out with transformer testing,
Very
circuit
good.
excitation, and short circuits and impedance testing. So it's a great little book. Everybody got that one as well. So if you're interested, just hit us up on LinkedIn and let us know you want Brett's book, and get in contact with him and send you a copy. But that would be a great topic to go into. Why don't you take that, and
I
then we
will
can
take
work.
that.
We have Brett on, we have you guys on. And
Yes.
we'll,
Most
work
definitely.
with you. So, what else you got going on in there?
We have actually NFPA 70B.
Yeah,
That
that's a
has
big
been a
topic. right now.
big
Yeah.
topic.
Oh, you know what? Sorry, I didn't give you guys your thing back there.
Sorry.
Thank you.
NFPA 70B is
Yeah.
one of the big things that we're rolling out next quarter. We had a lot of customers wanting that specific part of NFPA 70E, and so Greg and the management team decided to do that, and we're going to see how it works out. So if you need that, definitely contact ABO Training Institute.
What's the biggest change in 70B this year? No, I just wanted to see.
I don't know
what
about
else.
that. I'm in sales,
Yeah.
y'all.
So it's gone from
What is
you should do this to you must,
Must
do
do
this. That's the bottom line
the
of it.
standard
So
now?
you really need to understand 70B. Because it's a little more stronger.
Okay.
So
Well, I know we just came up with the course development. It hasn't rolled out to us yet because it's not coming out to Q2.
right.
So, but definitely the course outline will be on our website as well. We're ready to roll it out.
And we're gonna do just like a summary of that. We're gonna have Mose Ramey on here in a little bit. We're gonna talk about it, and then if you guys need your 70B training, B, the boy, training, definitely go to the ABO website and see what they have to offer. All right, Bridget, thanks for coming by.
You welcome. You welcome. He's a great guy.
So
Go to
we are,
Protec.
we are in great partnership with you guys. Happy
Yes.
to have you, and we'll see you at the next show.
Next show. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Bridget.
Bye bye. Awesome.
So we're having a great show here. There's busy floor. Lots of great breakout topic sessions. We've got people walking around all over the place. Over 1,000 people here at the NETA in Dallas, Texas. And if you missed this one, definitely catch the next one. There's going to be some information coming out from NETA. It's going to be showing the fall in October here at the NETA as well. And it's going to be more of a technology show that's going to feature a lot of innovation. So make sure you look at the NETA website, PowerTest website, pay attention into the World Journal, and have a lot of information on that. And we have a few more guests coming pretty soon that will round up. And we will be right back, and I will grab the next guest, and we'll be on in just a second. Excuse me. No script. There's no script here. What do you mean script? Okay, everybody. So we have a new Northeast Territory rep, and this is Brian Hammer-Schmidt. And the Hammer is spent quite a long time at Megger, so definitely a knowledge expert at Megger. And so now you're touring the Northeast for us. And how's the transition been? How's it different from being in like the application side of things to what you're doing now?
I mean, the business is still the same, right? We still need to test their equipment. So it's all the same. So find a lot of it able to provide that support, especially in transform testing. It's still the same. Difference only being rentals versus sales. So,
You've seen the industry change over the last 10 years. You know, you've on the phone all the time with Megger, talking to guys in the field. Just from that field service side of things, you know, have you seen anything change? Is it consistently consistent? I mean, other than there's a lot of business out there.
yeah,
It's busy.
yeah. I think a lot of things, fundamentals are still the same as far as, testing transformers, circuit breakers, all that stuff really hasn't changed. The types of testing that are done. What's been nice is the equipment, of course, is changing and the technology is a lot better. So you're finding equipment now that is making the jobs easier, they're going faster. And then, of course, I guess the biggest change I see is solar and wind. Renewable energy is a big deal. We're seeing more and more of that. And the testing requirements for that are the AC side, of course, for solar is
And
much the same.
and data centers as well. There's
Data
so many
centers,
data centers.
that is
I mean,
true.
just we think data centers, we think Google, but just Meta, tons of data centers. Amazon, tons of data centers. So, I mean, that alone will keep the company in business.
Absolutely, huge area of growth. I mean, our customers, some of them exclusively doing data centers. This is a large majority of the business.
And Tom and I used to have these conversations as well. Like the test equipment's getting smaller.
Yeah.
Does more tests. But I think Tom's double-edged sword on that is because with the button pushers, right? Is okay, you're trained to push a button, but you don't really understand what the test is doing. And that's one of the things we try to do with our webinars is help people understand what you're actually doing when you're performing the test, right? The whole theory behind the test and why you want to do it versus hitting a button and waiting for.
Yeah, that's really important. And of course, safety is still, even though some of the tests are really simpler in terms of, you said button pushing, safety is still a common concern. So that's something that people need to understand what it is they're testing and safety is good for that.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to have more manufacturers on pretty quickly. We got ETI Precision right across the street from us. We got AEMC over there. I think Greg's going to come by and see us. So we already have Megger on. We just had Megger on. So it's fun to find out, like, what's new coming from the manufacturers and what they're working on. And I think we saw some of that the other night in the new product forum. I think a lot of it's really software updates, or add-ons to current equipment, which is good. And then we've seen some just really kind of just new stuff. Yeah, so I mean, there's all your industry standards are here. Protec's here, Doble's here. So everything you guys use every day, and so we're gonna try to go through as many of the manufacturers as we can. So Brian, you've been in the Northeast now for, when did we start working together? September? Yeah, September. Yeah. So if you're a customer in the Northeast and you want to make some contacts with Brian, how can they get a hold of you?
Yep, they can go to the website.
Yeah, start at the website.
Yeah, I would read you my email, but it's pretty long. It's bhammerschmidt at protecequip.com.
Yeah. Yeah, or you can just email customer service at protecequip.com as well and say, I'm looking for Brian. But you're where are you going to be in the next few weeks?
Yeah, so we have in the New York area, upstate New York and New England, and after that back into Virginia, Maryland, Baltimore, DC area.
Yeah.
Next month.
Yeah, so we do things a little bit differently than most of our competitors do. We have our inside account management team, and then we have our outside territory management team. And so our inside account managers, they're very well versed in product. They know how to get on things quick and get you what you need quick. And our outside territory managers, their job is to run around and visit you and make sure you're happy and we're doing things right. And,
Another layer of support.
Catching products, exactly, another layer of support. And each of our territory managers has been some way in field services, right? Either through a manufacturing perspective or through working for an actual field services company. So, it provides, these guys know what you do out in the field, right? So I think that's good to be able to know what you're going through when you got to get equipment. And you need it now, and it has to work, and FedEx has to get it there on time. And so we understand that. So, Brian, you've been a great addition to our team, and appreciate what you're working on in the Northeast. Obviously, we're definitely seeing an uptick there, and it's the weather thaws out there. We're going to see a big uptick. Yeah, it's going to be cool to see it. So appreciate you coming by, and we'll get back. What do you think of the trade show? Is this the first time you've been to PowerTest?
It's the first PowerTest for me. I've been to many trade shows over the years, but yeah, it's the first time at PowerTest. I think it's great. It's a great mix of people here. Obviously, not the manufacturers, test companies, but it's all very good. Good to see.
Yeah, and, the more you come, the more you get to know everybody. Big reunion every year.
And you run into in this industry, you start see people that you've known years back. I've seen the Mega folks, for example. So it's good.
Yeah, good show. So we're gonna wrap up our trade show at 5:30 today, and then there's our bash tonight. We have the little rabbit things, and then that wraps it up for us. And then we'll be back in the office tomorrow, and then I think there's a few things going on. There's some tours tomorrow. Okay. That it's funny. I first signed Protec up to do these, and then there's like 120 people coming. And they're like, I can handle about half that. So it's just too many people signed up this year for it, which is fantastic. But everybody wants to do the offsite. Right? Yeah. So I think we're gonna go to ABO, Megger. We're gonna go to Shermco, a couple other vacuum interrupters. I think it's on the list. So and they're actual continuing education. They're getting CTDs for that. So 2 hours of CTDs. So that'd be fun. I wish we could go on there. But, it's great too. But so there's shows still continues. I think there's some 4-hour sessions that are going on. Gary's going to present one of those. And then I think Friday, Doble's got a big day on Friday. Doble does all their stuff. So, all right, man. Appreciate all the work you've done, and glad you're enjoying your first PowerTest.
Be on board now.
Yep. Plenty more power testing. Okay, Brian Hammerson there. Thank you. Okay, so the show continues. I'm going to take a quick break and leave it on live and get our next guest for you guys. And we'll be right back. Okay, I am a one-man studio today. I'm operating the board.
Okay.
We're having our guest.
Okay, so what are we going to talk about?
Okay, hey, this is Richard Scott from ETI Precision, and famously known for your primary injection and your on-site calibration. So, give us a good rundown of kind of what you do for the product side and what you do on the calibration side.
Sure. Well, we're here at PowerTest supporting NETA members, and we manufacture high current circuit breaker test sets, starting at 250 up to 6,000 amps. That's continuous.
So that'd be the PI 250.
Yep.
Up to the PI 6000, which is pretty big.
Yep, about 1,200 pounds. But we have other products within that range to fit certain needs. And those, besides doing circuit breaker testing, a lot of our customers are also, and I know you're renting to customers also that are doing ground testing. That's become pretty big. I understand, and I'm hearing a buzz in NETA about doing ground testing. And that's something different than a couple of years ago.
Yeah, ground testing. If you're in Europe, earth testing, I guess
Yeah,
they use that
right.
term as well. They're
Yeah.
both interchangeable. Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you guys also have power spots.
And we have DC power supply.
Yeah.
And that's been a nice little niche market. Primarily starting, being able to test circuit breakers, obviously power circuit breakers. But another application that we found is we have a lot of service customers who need a power source to do troubleshooting, just basic troubleshooting. And these AC/DC power supplies obviously do both AC and DC, so it makes a very convenient power supply. We also can do the same thing with our PI 250. Even though that PI 250 isn't going to be able to perform a test on a 2,000 amp circuit breaker, what it can do is be able to at least generate some current so you can troubleshoot.
Yeah, I don't think people think about using it in that manner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our philosophy is every service van should have a power supply and a current source for troubleshooting purposes. And then the other side of the business is the calibration side of the business. And our specialty is doing on-site calibration nationwide. So it makes us a little bit different than other companies. And our focus is in high current, high voltage. So, NETA members is definitely a niche spot for us.
Yeah. And it's funny, we have 5 calibration labs now. Well, our
Yes.
5th one's coming online in March in Atlanta. And everybody always asks us, do you do on-site? Do you do on-site? It's a completely different band, right?
It is.
Different people doing that, different mentality, I guess. People
Right.
that like to travel, right?
Yeah.
Your standards are take a bit more of a beating, right? Traveling
Well,
with them
and also finding, as you said, finding technicians that are willing to travel. But it's also a different philosophy because I've been in the calibration business before earlier in my career, and in that case, we actually had mobile labs, but we were doing calibrations in the semiconductor industry and other areas where you really needed a precise controlled environment. For our customer base, we're dealing with, we don't need to have that mobile lab, so we can actually do it at the customer site, which makes it a lot easier. So, it makes it a very fast process to be able to calibrate a lot of equipment in a short period of time. So that saves you from having to box it up, ship it somewhere, out of service for a period of time while it's out, and any potential damage that might happen in the process.
So, back to products. Anything new coming down the line, or any upgrades, or
Well,
or
right
just
now,
Steady Freddy?
yeah. Well, actually, we've refreshed almost the entire product line over the last 4 years. And so some of the things that we really focused on was technician safety. So we now have on several of our models that when you plug that into 480 volts, it doesn't energize. And the equipment before would smoke. And nobody got hurt. But
Let's scare the hell out of it.
Right, because you had a problem. So we've actually, added features like that. We've also gone to cam lock connectors, so now they're much more stable and they tend to stay in place a lot more secure. And we've added, like with our PI 1600, we put a 277 volt option on that. And the reason we did that is to be able to get maximum output. So if you've got a 480 volt circuit, all you need to do is take one leg of that to ground, and you've got 277 volts, and you're going to be able to get that peak output current versus running it to the way. And then we've also focused on putting fans in. So trying to cool the product more efficiently, because obviously when you have to go through that cool down period while you're waiting to test more breakers, that's money. And so the more breakers you can test per hour, the more important that is from a productivity standpoint. And so we really focused a lot of energy from an engineering standpoint on trying to cool the equipment so that it's able to do the job.
Looks good. All your products look good. Very well designed.
Well, thank you for that.
And,
And by the way, Protec's a great customer.
yeah, we got, oh gosh, all the ones we named, obviously we saw quite a bit of PI 1600, PI 250s. We got a lot of 6000s as well. In fact, we have custom crate for the 6000. Because they're so heavy, we have aluminum crate, and we're on about version 3 of that every time. And you guys, the way you innovate too and iterate, we do the same thing. We come back and we got to change the feet because of this. And,
right.
Well, you know what, this rail's too different. So we do the same thing. So we've got it pretty light now. It's about as light as you're going to get it.
Sure.
And keep the equipment safe.
Right.
So yeah, it's we're doing the same thing. But yeah, I don't even know how many we have now. Over close to 30.
I would say that's about
1,000
right.
around there.
Yep.
So we do have quite a few of them. They'll all be out and in the field here in about a month or two.
That's great.
And
Good news.
so yeah, and for ACDC 10s, ACDC 20s, yeah, we stock all this. So if you're on our website, you want to look up ETI's products on our website, just type in ETI in the search, and those will all come up. Or you want to go to their website, what's your web address?
It's ETIprecision.com.
ETIprecision.com. Absolutely. And you guys also sell, I know, in the primary, you guys, what other accessories can you get with like the big primary units?
Well, we have the OP124, which is a copper stab set. So that's used for generally for the bigger breaker test sets to be able to connect to some of the larger circuit breakers. And the advantage there is you've got copper and you've got surface. So anytime you get away from cables, you're able to push more current. Because obviously the issue is impedance. So if you can minimize impedance between the output of the circuit breaker tester itself and the circuit breaker, you're going to be able to get higher current.
I led you into this question on purpose because we have a couple of sets. I think the competitor has a couple of sets too, for aluminum.
Yes.
So what's the difference between the copper and aluminum? Weight's a big difference, obvious.
Yep.
And shipping when it's an issue cost-wise, right? If you can get away with aluminum, if you like, kind of what's the pros and cons of using aluminum and copper?
Well, as of today, we don't sell an aluminum stab set, but it is something that we're definitely looking at. And really, when we're talking about circuit breaker testing itself, I think aluminum is a good option because
Most of the time it is.
Because we're talking about momentary. But now, if you were doing a heat run and you were trying to push 6,000 amps through an aluminum, you're going to have an issue with the heat. But in terms of circuit breaker testing, we're doing momentary testing. Things are quick. I think it's a great viable option. It is something we're seriously looking at.
Yeah, so we debuted ours last year. We custom made ours, and then our competitors got a nice set as well. So yeah, that'd be great. I think there's a big demand for that.
Yes.
We've had lots of people asking to buy those. We don't make them to sell. We make them, obviously to rent our customers.
Right.
And everyone we have is out right now. So there's definitely demand for it. So that's a good product to add to your inventory in the future. I know I've had numerous people ask me, what's the difference in copper and aluminum? Well, there's some conductivity. There's weight, obviously. and like you talked about, you're running high heat, that might run into a problem with aluminum. But other than that, there's really no danger to use.
Yeah, from our
It's
standpoint,
softer though, right?
Yeah,
Like
well-
when you're bolting everything down and
yeah,
everything,
and I think there's some issues with how the finish is done on it. And we haven't actually had an opportunity yet to do any kind of long-term study with it. But we definitely are aware that it has been, and we've talked to customers of our equipment that have been using it for years.
I'd love to see the results of the study if you do one.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
will. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure our customers would do that. That'd be great white paper to actually present here at NETA.
Oh, sure it would. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. And so I know we've been a customer of yours for quite a long time. And give us a little bit of history of your company.
Well, ETI was founded in the 90s by two people that worked at EI. One got bought. They decided to go out on their own. Kevin Combs and Troy. And I apologize, I forget Troy's last name because this happened long before with the company. And in July of 2018, Troy and Ken decided they was going to retire. And so John Blanchard, the CEO, purchased the company in July of 2018. And I came on board in February of 2020 as we moved from our old lab in Westminster, Maryland, to Frederick. And so we've been in Frederick, Maryland, and since then we've expanded. We have a lab here in the Dallas area, and we also have a lab over in Huntersville in North Carolina. But again, we've been growing, and it's a great industry. We're right in the middle of electrification, and just like with you guys, it doesn't matter what the power source is. It could be solar, it could be wind, or it could be hydro, it could be nuclear. It all gets connected with the grid. Somewhere it has to be produced to the customer, and all of that has interconnections. And it's got the switch gear and transformers and so forth. So what's great?
Absolutely. And it's, if you're a novice like me in this industry, not when you started for ETI, I started for Protec, you realize how important this is. These are people that keep your power. And these guys are out there, rain, shine, literally sleet, snow.
Oh, they like lightning. Right?
There's two types of outage in this industry, right? There's a planned outage and there's an emergency.
That's right, the reactive outage.
Yeah, and so those are hurricanes, tornadoes, ice storms.
Or maintenance.
Yeah, and if you've been in Dallas during Snowmageddon, right, we know what a long-term power outage is. Or if you were in Houston for several of their recent hurricanes, you know what a long-term power outage is. So it's amazing how quickly these firms can mobilize hundreds, if not thousands, of guys to get the infrastructure back up and get it repaired and fixed. So that's why equipment like yours and others we talk about in here is so important, because there's a whole process, commissioning, testing, maintenance, the whole process. But in an emergency, time is critical, right? Because if you think of a world without power today, we'd be dead pretty quick. Yeah.
Critical infrastructure.
Yeah. So every little manufacturer has their own little kind of niche part of the business, right? Plays the critical part of that, and it all works in symphony together. So,
and that's where Protec, as a rental organization, provides a great service in that emergency outage, because at that point, all hands on deck. We've got to get something fixed, and a lot of times it requires extra equipment because it's above and beyond what they would normally do.
Yeah, and we pay attention to that too. We know, especially in hurricane season, we're eyeballing it like crazy and moving equipment from locations further away into. We may not move it into Houston, right? But we're in Dallas, right? Waiting to put it down there.
Sure.
It's as quick as we can deploy. And same thing in Atlanta when stuff comes across Florida, right? So we're in position to move it in as soon as they're ready to get in there. So yeah, it's a lot of strategy and thought has to go into that to make sure everybody has what they need when they need it. So yeah, that's one of the most amazing things I've found since I've been in this industry is just the level of knowledge and the level of ability to mobilize. Right. It's just utterly amazing. So these are the guys that get that power on and keep it on. And
Well, I
really, really good at it.
the logistics experts.
Yeah, yeah.
At the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
And there's, I don't know, there's kind of a stigma still, I think, on blue collar job. They're smart guys. These are engineers. And
Oh my gosh.
master's degrees and make a lot of money in this industry, but you're gone all the time. You're in the middle of nowhere. But if you're considering electrical testing as a career, you're young. You don't need a freaking master's degree to get in this industry. There's some great colleges that teach these programs, like Texas State Technical College down the road in Waco. Great place to start. These electrical testing companies, I mean, the numbers I've heard, there's about 4,000 technicians in this industry, and they need 9. So, if you go through, NETA has official levels you go through.
Yes, right.
And, you start off as a level 1, carrying the tool bag, so to speak, and learn the job. I mean, there's really apprenticeships that play here. And, once you get into level 2, level 3, if you're level 3 and level 4, you're kind of becoming a unicorn in this industry.
You are. Yep.
And,
You're employable.
and so, yeah, absolutely. And, it's funny, you look on LinkedIn and you see all these profiles, these 3 or 4s, no recruiters.
Yeah.
Like they don't need recruiters. As a career choice, it's a really good career. There's great job security. If something happens and you have to leave the company you're with, next day you're recruited.
That's right.
And, somebody always has to keep the power on. So there's
There's also management opportunities too. So if you decide long term that you don't want to, you want to be more than just a technician, you want to be a supervisor, manager, move into operations. There's a lot of opportunities. It's a growth industry too. So with electrification, it is growing. It's a great place to start.
And so the companies we typically are dealing with are NETA member companies. They specialize in electrical testing, so commissioning, or they're doing maintenance, or they're doing safety. And so they're typically working for the utilities. Right? They're going into doing all the substation testing. So they're testing the bushing, the breakers, the transformers, the battery backups. So I mean, this is such a little niche cottage industry. But it's a necessary industry, and so I think we're proud to be here. We're happy to be in partnership with you guys, and it keeps growing every year. Just when you think how much can this industry grow every year, we've taken a guess, and we're all these wildly right because there's just so much building and so much growth. So it's a good recession-proof industry to be in.
It is.
Cool. Anything else you want to share with us about ETI?
No, I think that would be it. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and we really appreciate the part and the work we do together.
Absolutely. So we're happy. And again, if you want to purchase equipment from ETI, obviously go to their website. It's Richard. I buy equipment. I buy it from you. And so yeah. Definitely go to their site. Or get in touch with us. We'll be happy to put you in touch. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thanks. Take care.
Richard Scott with ETI. It's kind of winding down a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems some people think it's a little bit quieter this year than last year, but yet we have more kids.
Well, we have more people, but I think we got a very long, skinny corridor, and I think people are way down there. Whereas with more square in Orlando, people are kind of.
We actually have more vendors than we did.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I think Ron said there's over 100.
Yeah. So that's bigger.
Yeah, definitely bigger. I think even just regular signups, there's over 600. So definitely their biggest numbers today. So that's great. I think that shows a little bit about. I think people are kind of recovering from the COVID, right?
Yeah.
We're just couldn't do shows. I think people started to go back to shows.
Yeah, we were. Some guys that came through from Penn State, and one of them is what they call the engineering group, but they actually work for the state of Pennsylvania, so they do testing and prisons and that kind of thing. But during COVID, it was crazy because they were all working from home. Nobody was at Penn State.
Yeah.
Right? Nobody's so present and on site. It's such a hassle, but there's no human beings here. So what does it matter that I show up in a room because there's nobody here. But it was amazing the rules that they had to go through. So we were kind of laughing about that situation. And thank God it's all over.
Yeah, yeah. I think we got going down here a little quicker than those guys up in the Northeast did.
Oh,
for sure.
Maryland was kind of between. So I was transitioning at that point. So I had moved to Maryland. My wife was retired. She was teaching high school up in Denver. And so their rules, they got so bad that I couldn't do this.
Yeah.
Because it was like, if you go, I'd have to quarantine for 2 weeks. So I didn't see her for 3 months. And I lived, just 8 hours away. It was nuts. But anyway.
So yeah, and I think there's still some lag in the business too. People are still catching up, right?
Yeah.
On
Especially
our
like transformers
yeah.
and stuff, all that kind of equipment. I was reading something recently that was talking about stuff still being delivered starting this year, going through like 2026, 2027. And these are projects that are basically mothballed until the big transformers, whatever that piece of equipment is.
Your lead times are really good. I mean, some of the stuff you got sitting on the shelf, right?
Yeah.
I can get it in a couple days. But even what's your longest lead time? Probably on a PI 6000 right now.
About 13 weeks.
Yeah, which still not bad considering.
It was better than it was, but
Yeah. And so I think a lot of people got close to normal, if not normal now. Some are still, missing components.
Right.
I know I ordered some equipment where I'm having trouble getting the power supplies for it. Right. So
yeah. Well, it's interesting. We're not getting reported.
we are getting,
are
getting recorded. So if you
Oh,
don't
okay.
want to say anything,
that's
critical like that, we'll leave it at that. But anyway, we're all over YouTube right now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's not to give away any trade secrets. Obviously, it's it wrecked the whole supply chain, not just for our industry. And that's now you're seeing the cost effect of that, right? Everybody's going up in prices. Right? Just get this whole downline effect on that. It's unfortunate, but what can you do? It's got to have the equipment. You got to have it. So do it. Okay, I'll let you get back to your booth, but appreciate your time, and I'll be placing an order with you shortly.
Okay, great. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Good to see you, Richard. Okay,
Bye-bye.
Richard, thanks. Okay, let's go. And I'll be right back. Got to find our next guest, and we'll be right back.
So you're on.
We're live.
I probably wouldn't have brought up the
Okay, welcome back to our live show, and we're going to have Greg Wong from AEMC here shortly. Another equipment manufacturer. You're still buzzing at PowerTest 2024 in Dallas, Texas, and I'm one.
I figured you said, hey, this is
Yeah. So yeah, we're giving away. If you're watching this and you're around, we're giving away. Here, I'll actually show you guys. Giving away 5 coolers. So put your name in the hat there for us to draw later, and we're gonna give away some coolers. There we go. So if you're not familiar with Protec, we have 8 locations around the country. We have multi-million dollar inventory for rental in the electrical testing industry. So if you don't want to buy it, we highly recommend you rent it. And here, it's great right now. Yeah, come on, right here. Okay, joining us now is my good friend Greg Wong from AEMC Equipment, and we have a lot of your stuff.
Yep.
And it's good to see you again. You're a regular with
Thank you.
Protec Live,
Yep.
and
A few times.
we've done a few. Yeah, over the years.
How's the show?
Good, busy. Yeah, it's starting to wind down now, but it's still busy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's 3 straight hours of madness.
I know.
At the booth, yeah.
Oh yeah, our Hatmore line was steady. This is the first time I've ever seen it with nobody there. What's that?
Someone wants to talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Popular guy.
Yeah, okay. Hey, I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you talk to the camera for
Oh,
just
no.
a
What
minute.
am I going to say?
Tell us anything you want to say. You want to go through your product line? You want to tell us about anything? Don't say anything new yet,
Nothing new.
because I want to ask you about it.
Okay.
But I just want to kind of give a basic overview of AEMC to everybody, and
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. Sounds good. I hope somebody's watching. Maybe. So let's see. Insulation resistance testing, contact resistance testing, ground resistance is what we're most known for. Of course, big into power quality, power quantity logging, L being our biggest rental instruments. Let's see. Let's talk about that. Well, we released the 8345. I'm sure that's going to be. So the 8345 is going to be a Class A power quality instrument. We're just talking. We're just talking.
That's okay. I'm back. Okay.
Great. Yeah. I was trying to talk about the 8345.
A34, which we have on display.
Yep. Yeah.
And really, Greg came by early. We are in appreciation for being a great partner.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
appreciate that. We got plaque.
Yeah,
Let's go on the wall.
Yeah.
Got a cooler. I'm actually drinking your go-go juice right now. Appreciate that.
Yep.
And well, it's great. So yeah, obviously the 8345 it's been out for a little bit now.
A year.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got it out.
Yeah, I don't call it new, but it's
New-ish.
It's newish. So yeah, we bought a lot of those in the last year.
Neat features.
Yeah.
Neat features. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, if you go to our YouTube channel on our live shows, Greg actually does a great overview of the 8345. We brought it in studio in Protec's headquarters.
Yeah.
And went through a nice overview of Tom on that. So
Yeah.
if you want to go back and watch that, you get a good overview of the 8345. And obviously your staple, Pel 103s, Pel 105s.
Yep.
A lot of those as well in our
Yeah.
inventory.
Yeah.
That's
great for us. Best selling instrument out of AEMC's line. Very easy to use, simple to deploy, 3-minute setup ish. Power adapters, so you don't have to worry about power in its phase powered. So solid instrument. More of your RMS logger, a little slower, but price comparison wise, great for power load analysis for other.
So if we're going to compare it to say like a flute model, somebody maybe used to use a flute, what are they comparing it to?
434, and then the big popular one that I can't remember everybody wants to buy. Flute.
I don't know.
The screenless one. The screenless one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So any type of RMS type logger is where this is going to fit. So there's plenty of competitors out there, but I think you'll find that price versus features, you're not going to really get past the Pell as far as it's goes. We recently built in a load study analysis into it as well, a new function to just simplify study more. And I can configure it based on NEC 220.87, which I mean, it's just a 15-minute 30-day load study, but I got one button configuration. So it's great.
And then you're from a utilities perspective, you got the new tower test.
Yep, PowerTest. It's been out for a little bit, but we're getting a lot more interest in it now. It's interest in understanding and mitigating damage, lightning, backflash issues, or flashover issues in the utilities. Grounding's obviously a great concern. So we see a lot of rentals for rentals and purposes. We use this instrument for doing studies. Maybe I'm going to add. I have an LA program, a lightning arresting program, and I want to know before I put these really expensive devices on my towers or start deploying these assets, I have stuff. So that's good.
And the beauty of that tower tester is you don't have to go up the tower.
No, yeah.
You do it from the ground.
One of the only few instruments not going to be a super high frequency test. It's going to be different than what else is on the market, but it's going to put current sensors around the structure itself to measure how much test current is put into it. So I don't have to disconnect that static, but I can perform some testing with this kit, very similar to the standard method to verify if I have a connection of that static. So that's going to be something different. And it's a simple switch. It's going to change something on the instrument. So that's beneficial for understanding if we are having issues. So we got a really great webinar coming out on that later next month, mid next month. On the tower test.
Nice. So if somebody wants to sign up for that webinar, where would they go?
It'll come out on our website very shortly. The link to be on our website.
So search AEMC and you'll find the website.
Yep.
And then just go back to the 8345, that whole series. So you're really competing with Fluke's 1750, well now 1770 series. Yeah, they're retiring the 1750s. And so yeah, but I think the benefit to using that over if you're used to using a 1750, right? You gotta have the little pad to go with it.
Yeah.
Separate, right? So pain in the ass. So
Everything's built in.
yeah, everything's built in.
Screen emulation over a Wi-Fi connection. That's kind of the key feature. So instrumentation in that area. It's an architecture agreement, whatever maybe. I can locate the instrument there. Do all the work remotely. Watch what's happening. So trend it off, so on and so forth. Really, I think the strong suit though is going to be the Class A instruments. These are fairly new and not super understood by many, but I think one of the most useful things that that instrument collects is half-cycle RMS data, and then we can also from that derive rapid voltage change, which is it's a measurement based on out of the out of the IEC's Class A definition, but very useful for us in the U.S. So we're looking for that voltage monitoring, frequency monitoring, all those deviations that could be causing our system's issues. Like that kind of monitor mode built into it, super easy to deploy. Gives you a pass-fail grade on everything. So great little instrument.
I'm gonna go grab it real quick. It's right over here, so you guys can see it, and we'll grab the 1777 too. I have on display. So we've got to do a little compare and contrast.
Yeah,
Hold on one second.
They did.
Okay, you hold yours. Hold the 1777. So size-wise, they're relatively the
Similar.
same. This is laid out more landscape style.
Yeah.
Yours is a bit more. Oh, you got the kickstand
I got
too.
the
Well, we both
kickstand.
got the kickstand. Yeah, let me get the kickstand going. There we go. Okay, boy, they can't really see it, so I'm just gonna hold. So there we go. We can see them both.
Fluke, not really a huge supporter of the industry specifically. First and foremost, they're not at the show. We are. So there's
True.
there's
That is
something
true.
right there
That is true.
for you NETA guys. So differences, what you're going to see So Class A is kind of misunderstood in the U.S. It's not an easy thing. But one thing that you can guarantee, if an instrument says Class A, and we've synchronized the clock, all of our measurements out of this and this are identical because they have to. That's one of the biggest parts of Class A is that it standardizes measurement methods and mathematical formulas used for calculations of various measurements, right? So sample rates are all going to be similar or exact. The math to derive our different measurements is exactly the same in all of our Class A's. So that's something just right off the bat to compare when we start looking at price. There's a bigger difference, right? Some other little things here. I think the inclusion of both a touchscreen and the buttons takes the reliance off of one or the other, and that's important to me because I want to be able to use this as gloves, or I want to be able to rely on this to work. And I'm in a different. Like, the ambient temperature is going to be off. This may not work great for both units, and I want to be able to use the buttons. So. The screen and the buttons are somewhat independent of each other, and they do the same functions. So I don't have to rely on the screen. I think that's important. Phase power adapter is included, and we ship the leads with the phase power adapter, and it's magnetic. So I can slap it on this gear and whatever. A strap for ours as well too, so I'm not relying on any other type of mount or anything. I can strap this to whatever. So those are going to be the big kind of physical characteristic differences. Reporting is going to have some similarities, obviously some differences there too, but not monetizing. Reporting software is completely free. All of the releases for it are completely free, so that's going to be another thing.
Yeah, it's one thing I love about you guys. Open
Yeah.
Leave it to you guys. You're not trying to nickel and dime.
Yeah.
So,
I think one of the smartest things we did though is SD card comes right out of the front, right here. But I also have a USB, so I can copy information right to that USB. Not hot. Or, I'm not gonna say hot stop. I need to stop the measurement to pull the SD card, so I can't just swap the SD card. It's right on the front. The recording of the instrument all goes on to the SD too. And that's important because not only can I adjust how much recording I get based besides the SD but I don't have to rely on the instrument's internal storage for any type of so that's what you get.
nice. Beautiful instrument, very well designed.
Totally backwards compatible with all of our probes.
Yeah, that's important too, because we all know if you got the 7070 series, your 7050 probes do not work with the 7070 series. So we have to get all new probes for that.
Yep.
Yeah, here's
How you guys doing today?
Good. How are you?
good. How are you doing?
We do have some specific probes for this instrument, so that's new. But those are special use cases. All of our Rogowski coils, our Inflex and Miniflex are compatible with this instrument. Same thing with our voltage leads, if that's important to you. If you got a Pell or a power pad, older units, that sort of thing. If they're in rental fleets, they're going to work with this instrument. So that's a nice little feature. Not moving away. So, of course, I don't have to do any type of ratios on my probe. Set the probe up. It's automatic.
Yeah, it's a nice little unit.
Yep.
We have power pad 3s as well, but big upgrade.
Yeah, big upgrade.
4.
Yeah.
So recommend you go with the 4.
Yeah, big upgrade.
With the power pad. So, excellent unit. Is. They don't break. I don't think I've seen one break since we had. Obviously, somebody drops it, things happen. Gets thrown around by
Yes.
FedEx. But yeah, I mean it's. I think to see this across the board with AEDC, we rarely have. Usually, if it's like the screen gets cracked, right?
Yeah.
So that's usually what happens with an AEDC. From our experience, is they're smoothly built.
Yeah. They're well built package. Software updates coming very soon for this as well too. It's going to take harmonics out to 128. It's going to enable some additional communication protocols, so we can work on this remotely a little bit easier. So a couple of little changes. The harmonic probably the biggest thing. One thing I will mention differences on these two. GPS is built in. does not require an external those things. So I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, it requires an additional dongle or some type of accessory to make that function work. So that's important for syncing our clock. We can do it off NTP as well too, so I can throw some Wi-Fi or connect to the internet. I can sync the clock.
Yes. So
Yep.
I told you to wait for me. What else you got
Yeah.
coming down the pipe?
Yeah, so new product wise, following up on our very famous single phase ratiometer, does very well, wonderful price, super easy to use, right? Staying in that line. One thing I like to mention about that product, completely US made. Everything is made here in the US. So down to the software, boards, everything is created in the US. So it's all US manufacturing. But 8511 is coming sometime later this year, early next. A couple little changes to the overall package of the instrument. First off, my biggest feedback was like make the test button as big as you possibly can. So it's a big, I don't remember how exactly big it is, it's a large test button. Goes down to just one board on the internals, so that's going to save. It should make the instrument less sensitive to being broken, less susceptible to break. It's got USB-C in it, and it'll also have a charging port as well, so you can charge it both USB-C and through the proprietary charging port. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I got to double check. This will be operational during charging, which is so fantastic. 4-line screen versus the 2. Other than that, some of the other changes there are somewhat minimal. It's going to be the great instrument that was out of the 8500, 8510. A lot of the same features to voltage. It's super easy to use.
This will be the 8511.
8511.
It's ETA.
End of the year, early next. Right now, that's best case scenario.
Okay.
A little bit. Got some new PELs. That's really exciting because PELs is such a great instrument for us. We do so well with it. You're not going to see a ton of changes there either. It's a really cool alarm feature that I don't have a lot on yet, but think of it as not specifically an alarm, but if a threshold is met, I'm going to be able to trigger a notification. So alarm may not be quite the right word there for it, but if I'm doing a voltage study, for instance, with this instrument, be slower voltage changes and or imbalance. I think imbalance would be great with this. If I said I know I may be having some imbalance issues on a system, or a two-phase system, and I want to be notified when that happens, right? Maybe then I can correlate that to some type of thing that's happening in my facility, right? It's manufacturing, equipment running, or one line is running when the other lines aren't, and now I have this imbalance that's created. Something similar to that. So that's going to be a function built into it. 200 millisecond sampling is going to be in that instrument. That's only found on the 105 and the PowerPad line. So starting to delve into that power quality world with that. It's a quantity logger. We want to always make sure we separate it there. But we do give it some power quality like functionality. Wi-Fi is going to be in that. That's not found anything other than 105 and 02. And then we're going to have our data sync, which is going to allow us to remotely connect as well.
Data user software.
Data user software, but this is going to be a separate service, and I can connect to it without having to worry about if I can put it. So a lot of small improvements, I would say.
That's been the theme. Like every manufacturer talks about a lot of little incremental improvements to current popular devices.
Right.
A lot of software / firmware upgrades as well, which you would expect. And so that's certainly, I think, the theme of it. I haven't seen anything like overwhelmingly new engineering-wise this year.
No, a little bit on their environment, I'm big into ground resistance testing. I've got a continuity meter coming out that I really like. It's wrist mounted, 6011 is going to be the model number for it. And for guys talk to guys in lightning protection, or even in this world where maybe you're testing a substation, your guys substation sometimes too. I want to make sure I've got very low resistances across the station, right? So potential testing from point to point is what we often call it. And the problem is that we use ground testing, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it requires a lot of cooperation. So I gotta have a guy push a button. I gotta make a connection. And so this instrument is wrist mounted. I can bring a really long lead with it up to 600 feet total. I got a 5 ohm cap on there, so I got to eliminate lead resistance, and that allows me to bring that instrument out to a point, run around, continually testing. That's going to be the big thing. Is that it's running all the time, sort of like a multimeter, but it's got a higher testing. So I go out and hit those points. I got an extension wand that comes with it too, so I'm right on top of everything. Get my measurements. I got an alarm built into it too. So that's a cool feature. Anything less than a certain value, I'm gonna get an alarm on it. It's got a full cap on that too. So not perfect for substations and that work, but we see lightning protection. We see guys who are working in mining, IMSHA, has a lot of ground resistance testing, agricultural testing requirements. So neat little instrument, more of a accessory or accessory adjacent.
Wrist is
Yeah,
interesting idea.
yeah, it's a neat idea. That way, I don't hands free. A lot of hands free,
Hands free.
somewhat hands free. So,
I'm sure you can get these ideas from either playing with it yourself, obviously, but
Yeah.
you get a lot of customer feedback, right?
Yes.
The customer, hey, it'd be great if you could do this. This is a pain in the butt because I got to do this with it. The handle's not comfortable. Oh, it's in the wrong place. And so all these little incremental changes come from that constant feedback.
one thing I do with all of our end users, I work with them on the phone, webinar, in person at the show, and I'm not going to ask you what you like and ask what you don't like. Because that's what I'm interested in. I want to give that feedback to our engineers and product guys to make sure that we're making good stuff that works for you. We're not known for being super feature rich, and I think that's a good thing. We want stuff that works.
I think about a car today, right? These cars, the average car's $45,000, something like that. It's crazy. You don't need most of the stuff on it.
Yeah.
You know.
Grab it. Good. How are you?
Good work. Hey, this is Jack.
Training. Are you doing that? I got one of these through training. So
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Bigger one over at booth
You got bigger ones?
52 over
For
at
AMC.
AMC. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we got
Contest.
52. That's the big roller, right?
Oh, the one over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I put in for that one.
All right. There you go.
Don't worry. I put
You
in
can
for
put your
that.
little one in your big one.
I don't know how to get it home. But...
We'll ship it to you.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. No, we'll take care of you. We got you.
I better win it down.
There you go. We'll ship it to you.
Let's see if I can put a couple extra in.
Yeah, maybe. Put some stuff in.
So how you guys been?
We're good, man. We're just live on the internet right now talking to That's great. We're just having chat. So it'd be like a conference so far.
Conference is great. Yeah, I like it.
Cool. How many have you been to?
How many goods?
No, how many power tests have you been to?
This is my second.
Second one. So did you go to Orlando last
I
year?
went to national.
Okay.
6 years.
Yeah, that's a while ago.
Yeah, it was the only one close enough.
Yeah, it's different people at every conference.
Yeah, we only sent like 2 guys a year.
Yeah.
Just me this year.
Well, congrats. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Good question.
Let's take the worst guy out and send him there. No, they want you to retain it all. So you're the.
Well, it's good because then I can just do my own thing.
Right. Get hooked up.
But I'm giving away 5 of those, so you got 5 chances at it.
You have to do the paper and part, right?
Yeah. Either way, yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
I talked to
Hey, do you want to come on camera for a little bit?
So,
No.
I talked to Tom. And we'll
Hey, so
start
Tom's still
the
gonna be
3
working
months.
with you guys?
This one?
Tom's still
I'm
gonna
trying
work
to
with
get
you
in
guys
there.
some?
Some, yeah. Depends when he's not traveling, right? That's the problem right now. Tom's not traveling.
Yeah.
That's why we got so many questions on that.
Yeah.
So like everybody,
Good.
you're watching, we do monthly webinars, right? Yeah. We did do one.
You met Bob yet?
And Tom
Yeah.
went over to Vector Power, and he's on the road.
Yeah, I know.
We're gonna do like the Protec Vector Power Hour or something. I don't know. We're gonna come up with a name for it, but Yeah, no, we'll
Now you
keep
still
doing
got
stuff.
somebody.
People are certainly interested in it. It's
Good
like
guy.
more than I thought. I mean,
Good.
we have like
Great guy.
150 to 170 people on our webinars every month,
That's what I've
and
been doing.
so pretty popular webinars. We've built
Yeah,
that up
we did
over
the training
time,
with Mark.
and we didn't realize like people were gonna
We're
miss
talking about
it.
redoing it this week, so
Yeah,
It's better.
I mean, that's good. No, we're gonna do it.
I'll tell them that.
All right, it's great
Reworked
to
that.
good to
Reworked
see
the
you.
seminar. I spent a year working it. Yeah, it's all brand new. It's different. It's a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Ground resistance doesn't have change.
It's just like when you don't do it every day,
Right.
it's just
Yep.
like you always have to like refresh.
Yep. A lot of new resources for you because of that reason. Just theirs.
Yeah. So I know we've been talking about it. We'll see when it happens. But
Yeah. Yep. I'm the guy that reach out to.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That's gonna be my next topic for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope we can do it soon because I know we've had a bunch of projects where it's like we should do this training.
Yep.
So yeah. But thanks guys. You guys have a great day.
And thanks for coming down. See you, Chad. So, training.
Training.
You're like the training guy now.
I'm the training supervisor now.
Yeah.
I love that title. AMC's made a huge investment into developing both product and subject training to support our instruments and our end user base. So, we've been known for our ground resistance testing seminar. Still doing that, like I just mentioned. It's been somewhat reworked and adjusted to be based on the feedback from our end users and attendees. It's customizable, and what I mean by that is like the methods don't necessarily change, but how we deploy them and the vernacular we use can change based on industry. So we're finding this not only for the electrical professional, but I've done lightning protection. I just was at the Lightning Protection Institute. I'm a professional member there. Do a lot of help on that end, mainly on the military specifications. But static has been a big influence recently. The static static communication in explosive environments, not just hazmat, but maybe hazmat kit too, but in manufacturing specifically. So paint, recycling, so that's really interesting. But any type of ground testing that can be done, if it's an electrode, it can be tested. We can come up with it, find you a method.
And that's, I think your core competency, right, is ground testing, or testing, and power quality monitoring.
Yep.
And so if they're for training, you do live, or online, mostly in person.
Mostly in person, much prefer in person. We can't really do the hands-on online,
Right.
mostly. But yeah, it would be in-person training at your facility, or do public seminars as well too. I attend those, and they're fairly low cost. They're terribly expensive. We can support our instruments, but we'll go through all the methods. It's a full day of the stuff. It can be long. It's a full day, but we have an installation testing program as well too. That's a half-day program right now. We do custom as well, so structured training for a lot of really big names now. Google, the Navy, Stanford University, and those have been more custom delivered. So they may have an instrument already, one of ours, or even somebody else's, and they want to know how do I deploy this best? How do I utilize this best? And then we'll bring in the application after the fact. So, for instance, if you buy a ground resistance tester, let's focus on that. If you're renting that instrument, often that's the one that we're training. So, we try to bring some custom presentation.
And then online resources, you have some videos on your website.
That's some great videos.
Yeah, you got some good videos. Yeah.
Release new videos.
Starring you personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some.
Release new videos on soil resistivity, and I take a kind of different approach with soil. Of course, it's used for design. That's great for everything. How can the everyday testing technician use the soil testing to leverage it? We want to make sure that the design is going to meet the spec requirement. I've run into that a lot. Anywhere, it's 4 ground rods, but it's supposed to be 10 ohms. Well, is that going to get us there? Before I pound those ground rods in the bottom together, test it. Let's make sure we can use apparent resistivity and then make sure that it's going to meet our specs. We can't do that unless we're in person a lot of times. So it's best to do that stuff in person.
You guys have a YouTube channel?
We do, yes. That's what I was getting to. We have a YouTube channel.
That was the leading question.
Thank you. Yes. We've got videos on multiple different test methods, focus on the fall potential and around it, plus soil testing, plus some information on Propel. We've got some interesting fact videos. We've got wonder why. Most people understand this, but a good example of why you pull around one side of a sheet of wire. Specific communication that can be found anywhere. Why you do that, we can see why that is. Just some simple videos. Hysteresis. That's a big one. What is this hysteresis function in my instrument? Mainly on the power bulb and stuff. I have it for alarms and inrush. How do I set that appropriately? Got a whole video. 4 or 5 minutes long. It's great.
Yeah, no, your videos are really good. I like watching your videos. I'm really surprised that on the manufacturing side, there's just a lack of video knowledge sharing. Like it's like basic. I don't know that they understand that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, and how many times field service got put off the field. I got this problem, got this error message, got this, and they just, I think some are good at it and others aren't. Just in addressing some of those really easy questions to answer. We're just learning. Hey, learn a nice overview of this piece of equipment.
Right.
It's like, hey, I'm interested in using the PowerPad A345. I'm used to using the Fluke series. I just want to get an overview.
How do I set it up? How do I turn the thing on? How do I put the battery in? There's nuances to everything, and there's only so much we can derive from a written manual. Talking to somebody on the phone. Video is going to give us a little bit of both there. And it's great because I can just back it up, go back, view it, and use it for internal training if you're doing training with your guys. I'm a big believer in making that stuff, especially for instruments. I think the application and stuff, applications instruments is better done in person. That's not always possible, especially with the Pel, though. If you're a pellet user, we can support that really well remotely. And we do it for free too. That's the great thing. So I have a training program on the Pel that's, I don't know, about 90 minutes long or so. And it's just to make sure you get the best utilization of it. So if you own it or rent it, I'm happy to do that. Even if you're just looking at it and you want to know more about it, that's something that works. And all of our sales guys are rapidly becoming better at applying that stuff and using our training materials to offer that to our users.
We should do that like it's a function. That'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really proud of our the advanced pedal training that we put together, and I found that by deploying that, getting better quality data from the instrument, we're finding other stuff we can utilize. Because it's not a quality, not a power quality instrument, but it has some quality functions that can be deployed with it. So the best one I always use is several years ago I had somebody using it at a wastewater facility to monitor the utility. Harmonics, specifically based on the placement of this lift station, as well as the voltage. We found massive voltage. The problem is the utility cannot be like, that's fine. It's okay. I took my measurements today. It's going to be fine. And the problem, these were occurring in off hours. Times nobody was paying attention to it. Ruining drives, causing all sorts of problems, shutdowns. We were able to prove it out with a simple voltage monitoring setup. Great instrument, multiple functions, not just an instrument. Any instrument we manufacture in this.
So, free Pel 103.
Yep.
90-minute training session.
Yep.
There you go. Contact.
Yeah.
Yeah. If somebody wants to get a hold of you.
Website's the best. gwong@aemc.com. You can find my contact information on the website. Customer service at aemc.com. Really, if you're trying to get a hold of the department at AMC, just put the department name at aemc.com. Tech support at AMC. Pretty easy to get a hold of us. You can contact us on the website too. You almost can't not find it.
So No, appreciate you stopping by again today. As always,
Yep.
enjoyed it, and
Thank you.
we will see you for test.
Yeah, we're gonna test the tower tomorrow.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Yep. Sounds good.
all right. We better put these back before
Oh, yeah.
our sales team thinks they're missing. I'll be right back. Battery is running. Okay, yeah, hold on. Hey, hold on, Muzz. I gotta check the battery here.
Check the battery, make sure things are working. You don't want to lose power. It's very important troubleshooting. Make sure it's plugged in.
It is plugged in.
Make sure it's turned on.
Make sure it's turned on. Oh, I know why.
Oh,
Plug
okay,
into
plugged into
a
the phone.
plug into a phone. Plug into a hotspot. There we go. Awesome. All right. Hey, my good friend Mose Ramey is here.
How we doing?
We're doing great. You know what? We always do this during the show, and we do a follow up too.
We do a follow-up.
We did last year.
Oh, that's true. We did do a
Remember? Yeah,
follow-up.
yeah, we did it. Yeah. So, what are the big topics this year?
Man, the big topics, a lot about arc fly study, and I think the one thing that's probably really, I guess, new this year was the NFPA 70B symposium. They call it a symposium. Anyway, a panel meeting, whatever they called it. So I thought that was a big thing. I unfortunately wasn't able to attend that when I was presenting at that time on arc flies.
Yeah, yeah.
Were you able to attend the symposium? Okay. So, but anyway, for our viewers that don't know, NFPA 70B is now a standard. It's been a recommended practice for a very long time. But it's now a standard, and I know that happened in 23, so it's not new this year, it was last year. And so it's now a standard that people have to, it's now should, not it's went from should, excuse me, to shall do electrical maintenance and testing. And so that is going to be a big ripple through our industry as people begin to focus on work on improving their electrical maintenance program. once again, we're seeing, I think the place I've seen this the most is we've had smaller facilities that felt like they didn't need to do maintenance, right? And what we're seeing now is these smaller facilities are starting to come out, especially if you have a corporation that's made up of a lot of small facilities. I recently been approached by a facility. They started with one little plant in Texas. They said they've had this corporate thing come down. They sent out a maintenance program that they needed to talk about. And we talked, and I looked through their maintenance program, contacted the engineer, complimented him on his maintenance program. He's done a really nice job of putting it together. And that has turned into a great opportunity because while the facility that we have locally is small, they have, I don't know if it's hundreds, but dozens of small facilities across the United States that are all doing
That's my wife calling.
I think you should take that.
She,
Take that.
but she clearly doesn't know we're on.
She's
Nah,
not
she
watching.
just she's calling to see how it's going. So that's okay.
Yeah, and continuing on with the 70B theme, 70B, of course, is about maintenance. We're trying to make sure that our electrical apparatus, in particular our overcurrent devices, are operating properly. And so if we have circuit breakers or relays, they haven't been testing them all, we don't have that assurance that they're operating the way that should, that they're not operating in the time that they should operate. And of course, if the breakers don't operate per the time curves that are in the software that the engineers use to calculate arc flash hazards, then our arc flash study, of course, gets thrown out the window, and we are unintentionally going to expose the workers to higher levels of incident energy, for which the PPE that might be on the label that they protect themselves with is now inadequate. So that's a nice thing.
So one begets the other, right? They're
Right.
highly interrelated.
Right.
It's a subject.
Absolutely. And in fact, there's been a number of articles. I wrote one for NETA World, and you haven't read it.
You did a webinar, too, didn't you?
I did a webinar as well, which I wish I could tell people how to gain access to that. Maybe they can get it through the NETA World website. But the three work together, right? You have the National Electric Code, which is about proper installation of electrical apparatus. You have the NFPA 70B, which is about proper maintenance of electrical apparatus. And then finally, you have the NFPA 70E, which is about electric working on equipment that's safety equipment in the workplace. So all three of those work together. Because if we have this equipment that wasn't properly installed, it hasn't been properly maintained, then we're certainly going to have higher opportunity for an electrical event, right? So once again, those three documents work together to help equipment safety and the reliability. So we'll talk about NFPA 70 about safety. NFPA 70B is a lot about safety, but it's also about reliability. So not only can it run very safe work environments, they also can have a more reliable system. Because once again, if the plant loses power, they lose production, and there's all the headaches with that, especially when you talk about hospitals and other office buildings, including life safety equipment there. So once again, it's a incredible thing.
And I think we've talked a lot about 70E over the last couple of years, just Tom was teaching it. And obviously, if you have new technicians coming into the industry, they have to take it live, right? Or live online with an instructor. It's got to be instructor led. And so I think a lot of folks always been on 70E, but obviously with that little slight word change on 70B, people are like, oh, what's 70B? Never heard of that.
Right. Exactly. And it's like people are coming out of the park asking questions, wanting their latest programs to be reviewed, this sort of thing. And it'll also be interesting to see how the industry responds to that, right? And I know that there's going to be some interesting conversations, and I'm not going to get this right because I have my notes in front of me. But there are these categories or conditions that help determine the periodicity, how often you need to do maintenance, right? And so one of the interesting things that I've noted is there's a condition about could an electrical failure cause injury to someone, right? I thought that was very interesting because if the answer is yes, then it gets a higher criticality level and it needs to be maintained more often. And if it doesn't possibly, have a potential interest, then it's going to be maintained less frequently. Depending on the incident energy or the available bulk energy at any point in the system, anything electrical could potentially interest you. I guess as the more I dissect that, maybe like if we're talking about a lighting panel, maybe the maintenance of a lighting panel doesn't need to be all that frequent, because the chances of somebody being injured in a lighting panel are less than if they say a distribution. So those conditions are going to be an interesting thing for people to discuss with the 70B. And then to pick one thing out, there was some language in 70B around breaker testing, and that breakers, and I'm not going to get these acids right, but breakers like below 225 amps are not required to be tested. Breakers above 225 amps, and something that the testing companies are going to battle with, right, is that secondary injection is the recognized method for testing breakers in the standard.
Yep.
It doesn't even mention, that I read, that I saw, primary. Not that you can't do primary, but it doesn't mention primary specifically, or it does mention secondary. And I know that a lot of testing companies around here that would argue with you tooth and nail that secondary injection is not as good.
But I think we've really seen a big increase in secondary testing, right? Based on this standard. We bought a lot of secondary equipment. It's funny because you're looking for some of this stuff's old, you know, and you're trying to find the testing units on it, like new old stock, and it's still out there, luckily, but the breakers aren't going anywhere. So
Some of that stuff in the old boxes.
yeah, the GE, the what are the T? I can't remember the TRV1, whatever that thing is. Yeah.
Now, of course, the best thing to do there, people, is take those strip units out, upgrade them to something newer. Not going to plug in a particular brand. There's a lot of opportunities there. So, what else are we talking about? You want to talk about?
Sure, yeah. Let's go through Smart Flash. I know you've been talking about that a lot.
Yeah, I actually had an opportunity to do a presentation on that on behalf of my friend Brandon Sagan, down formerly with Mercedes-Benz, now with Schneider. And he basically reflected on his time as the electrical engineer at Mercedes-Benz and the projects that he did over the years and continually improving and trying to mitigate hard class hazards. And probably the one takeaway from all of those different evolutions is that speed of clearing a fault is the number one thing that we have available to ourselves and our systems to reduce the arc flash energy, right? We don't have a lot of control over the available fault current. That's dictated by the transformers, the EV's upstream of your location that you're going to work. You're trying to mitigate the arc flash hazard. And of course, you have the ability to remove the individuals these days by creating distance, right? Distance from the fault exponentially lowers the arc flash of the insulated energy. And like I said, there's plenty of manufacturers out there that there's at least 3 or 4 here at the conference today. They're selling remote vacuum and switching. So once again, those products are great for moving the worker away from the equipment. But this is kind of an interesting thing. If we can increase the speed that we clear faults, not only we protect the workers, but we can also protect the distance, and we're also protecting the equipment. And I think that's a lot of what people don't understand sometimes is, yeah, you want arc flash mitigation to protect workers, to lower that energy level for them, but you're also increasing the reliability of the equipment. Because should there be a fault, say there's nobody there, should there be a fault, the damage to the equipment is going to be much, much less than if it didn't happen, right? If we can limit that fault to, and once again, some of the examples we're using is like we can put a fault in, 2 or 3 cycles. And matter of fact, I told a story about a company, or not a company, but a facility that somebody inadvertently grounded an energized conductor. And because the system cleared so quickly, there was no damage. They didn't mark the grounds, they didn't scratch the bus. So that speed is so good to safety. And once again, I would love to see more facilities. So there is technology. And this is not new technology. This is why it's kind of sometimes crazy that we're not seeing maybe more of that in new installations.
Yeah. Tom and I have talked about things like that too. We've been doing this in Europe for 20, 30 years, and it's just now kind of becoming popular over here. Or people just are focused on the wrong thing and or the one thing and not realizing both things in combination, you have a much better outcome.
Yeah. Anytime you can bring that, just like here these days, basically eliminates our process because everything's now once again, that tends to be medium and low tension and high pressure. And once again, the struggles and where we see the highest heart content are on the secondaries of transport, typically in that low voltage category. That's where we typically see the highest heart content. But I think we continue to be a challenge. I don't know. I'm sure there's people out there making little insulated stuff, but not that I've seen. And so once again, that's where I mentioned we're doing a maintenance test, acceptance testing in the new facility, and there's no arc flash protection installed on this particular division. But they do have new processor relays, and they're also going to have a remote operating. So once again, they're going to protect the workers by moving them in front of the gear. They don't use the push buttons on front of the gear in front of the breaker. They can step 20, 30 feet away to that wall with the panels on down. At least they put some thought into protecting the work, even if they're not necessarily reducing the hard flash.
Take a step back. Let's most tell us your company. Just tell us a little bit about your company, what it does. So give you a plug here.
Yeah, the elevator pitch, right?
Yeah.
So a company is CBS Field Services, and I joined that company about 3 years ago, working with a fantastic team. And in a nutshell, we are a NETA accredited maintenance and electrical testing and acceptance testing company. And we work predominantly with people that need a high degree of safety and reliability out of their power system. And we like to help them at every step of the way, right? We love to do the acceptance testing, because that's where we make it. I think it was Plato that said the beginning is the most important part, right? So if we can make that gear spot on when we do the acceptance testing and remove any, I don't know if it works right, question marks, and that really helps out by having a good start. And then after that, we continue to do the maintenance testing, and once again, trying to maintain that gear in a like new condition, even in harsh environments, we can continue to keep that gear running. And then finally, and I think this is really fun, right? Especially if people are looking for some green technology ideas, or they want to have less impact. Instead of replacing electrical equipment, we can renew it. We can take breakers, we can refurbish them and make old breakers like new again. We can take them apart, replace them, polish them, put them back together, and modernize the trip units with microprocessor relays, install arc flash protection, and once again, continue to extend life of the gear. And we're talking that we can extend the gear life up to 100 years. Right? We got a gear that's 50 years old. We do all that, maybe we'll get another 50 years.
And so, yeah, CBS obviously need an accredited company, and you're on the PowerTest committee. Like I am, you're on a lot of committees.
I'm on a lot of
one.
committees,
But,
membership, training.
Y'all tried to get me on the membership. I haven't been yet. I'm too busy for
Tell
that.
you what, you should mention, right? Was it the Medal of Honor?
Yeah.
Museum? Medal of Honor.
Yeah, Medal of Honor Museum, which is going right here in Arlington, Texas, by Jerry World. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was great presentation. And no, it's good. We've been saluting Medal of Honor winners as well as all of our military. Yeah, some amazingly decorated soldiers.
Yeah. It's going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to going.
And local, hey, Audie Murphy from Audie Murphy. Remember the famous movie? Those decorated soldiers in World War II. It's a local Dallas boy. Yeah, there's that's going to be amazing there. I can't wait for that to get open. And footprint for CBS. You guys I know you're in Nashville.
I'm in Nashville, and then of course we've got offices in Detroit, Florida, Phoenix, Salt Lake, Oregon. Where else? And then of course we got all the breaker shops across the United States. We got a big contingent here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And matter of fact, for those that are continuing on with the Power Test Conference tomorrow, they're going to have 2 bus routes visiting not only some of our circuit breaker sales facilities, but also visiting Megger and some of the other. Yeah, but there's a lot of great companies here in Dallas.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier. Megger Shrimco's in on that. Vacuum and Rupture. AVO Institute. Yeah. So that's going to be fun. I was going to put Protec up to do that. Initially we did, and then there's 120 people on a bus. We can't get that many into our facility. But, not gonna do it. Sorry, but I love to have been on the group. It's good. Everybody that's great. I don't think. Oh, that's not my phone actually. That's the hotspot for you. The hotspot. That's somebody else. That's his wife trying to get hold of it. So yeah. Anything else before we go? Anything? What's your take on the show so far? I think not just the trade show, but the whole conference in general.
I think I've heard record-setting numbers have been happening. So it's great to get so many industry professionals together. The learning events are great, but let's face it, sometimes some of the best networking, some of the best connections, happen at the hospitality suite, happen after hours at the bar. Maybe sometimes we stay out too late. But then I want to say it. Of course, this is a trade show like no other, right?
Yeah.
This is 100 vendors that are specific to what NETA testing companies want and need, whether it's test equipment, rental test equipment, new technology. I mean, there's a guy over here selling fence. I mean, we got a fence company here this year, and I don't know who's going to buy fence from him, but God bless him. You need a fence. There's a guy here at the trade show right here in Texas. So no, I mean, it's fantastic, and every year I kind of dread coming here because I'm like, it's time away from work. But every year I come here and I see friends, and it's a shame. We come here, we hang out for 2 or 3 days, we really have some really good friendships, and then we go our separate ways. We don't talk about it for like a year. Yeah. So,
but coming up though, we got a new technology conference.
That's right, the Epic conference.
Yeah, the Epic conference. Yeah, it's gonna be in October. What was that stand for? I can't remember.
Electrical Power Innovation.
Yeah, no, that's a really great name.
Yeah,
that they came up with. I don't remember what our old name was when we were brainstorming this before, but this is a lot better.
No, this is good.
Yeah. So it's going to be here at the Anatole again.
Right.
Is it October or November? I don't know. I think it's October. But we're going to see some really great. I mean, it's not going to be PowerTest 2.0. Right?
No, it's not. But they're going to have the new technology. I mean, we're seeing a lot of EV, a lot of renewable energy sources, wind and solar, and there's some testing. It was a great presentation. It was a great presentation. Actually, a couple of them on EV systems this year. Once again, that is something that I think NETA companies are looking to do more of. I don't know all the reasons, but I think it's not on the level of NETA companies to be doing at least what we take. I think a lot of NETA companies have been involved with. But yeah, the Epic conference should be great. I can't wait to see the speakers list. That's going to really drive, I think, who shows up for this kind of people that it's going to appeal to. I think it's going to be a lot of people are interested in more of the engineering side of things, and just what's new, right? It's going to be like what's new, what's the next thing that's coming in our industry. So it should be very fascinating.
Yeah, getting pretty far along in the kind of planning and shaping up to that, so that's exciting. I know we have a conversation about that a week and a half ago. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be right back here at the Anatole. We're not going to have a big trade show like this, but it's going to be new and different. So certainly, if you're a NETA member, you want to look at the newest innovation out there for these manufacturers and even kind of expanding outside that. Like we talked about, like Toyota's here. There's going to be some really interesting new things that are beyond what we typically see at NETA. So check that out. I'm sure we'll have more information out on that very shortly. And we're already starting to see the marketing. There's a website for that. Epic. I can't remember. Epic something.org. Is it?
I don't. Shame.
Oh, that's a fail. Yeah, that's okay.
I can look it up.
So yeah, look it up. So it's already got a website up, right? So it's Epic something. EpicConference.org. We'll find it. But yeah, so that's good. If you don't want to go a year and see people, that's a good thing. But the other thing too, like
It's really straightforward. Epic 2024.
Epic2024.com. So we're gonna have to buy Epic 2025.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see. I mean, but it says it's going to be. Oh, maybe this is not the same conference. Oh, it's not the
No,
same
that's not
conference.
ours.
That's not the same conference. Sorry, scratch that. Scratch that. Wrong conference. I might have to put some details in the search.
We'll talk about it more certainly as it gets closer and post on it. But no, I think every year we come, we meet more people, and yeah, it becomes much more hospitable every year. I know you've been to like a gajillion of these things. I'm on number 4.
It's hard to believe how many NETA conferences I've attended. I need a technician for this. So, which is kind of fun. We had 3 legends in our industry retired this year. Al Veteran, John White, and Tim And I remember coming to some of those first conferences and seeing what I thought was the 20s, right? And I'm seeing these guys live, and they're all old, right? It turns out they were like 50, so roughly the same age I am right now. Right? And now here I am, 50 something, and I'm sure there's a lot of young guys that are going, look at that old dude, right? And hopefully, maybe I'll still be around here in another 20 years. I'll be retiring and getting the Lifetime Achievement Award and be that next generation.
I'm glad you mentioned that, actually. So, yeah, our good friend Tom Sandry got a Lifetime Award. And when he was shot, I've never seen him so quiet.
Well, I had the opportunity to chat with him last night over a cigar, and he said, I've never been speechless before, and I was so surprised. So blown away. He's like, they asked me if I wanted to say if I wanted the mic, and I just told them, no, I need to get off the stage.
Shocker, you and Tom met up over a cigar, yeah.
Yeah, shocker. Yeah. Go big. We still owe the audience a cigar.
Yeah. Tom hasn't done that in a while, actually. Yeah. So that needs to happen.
Didn't we have like a neat little title for that? Sticks and sparks or something?
Yeah, because the last time I saw you come through in Philly, at the NECA conference. Are you going to be at NECA this year? We're not going to do 2024 later this year.
San Diego, bro.
No. Back on some of our shows we're doing. Yeah, NECA's for us, for Protec, it's, we have customers there, but it's mostly not necessarily in real house. Yeah,
I'm going to be there. So come out and it's going to be
well, I mean, we'll still be at some shows. We'll probably walk more shows to do this happen. But that was good. Yeah, we were in Philly when all that crazy stuff was happening too.
Yeah.
That guy jumped on that woman's car. We didn't see that happen, but we saw the cop cars. It's like they were right where we were an hour before that. That was crazy.
There was a lot of police presence last year.
Actually,
they were sending out emails from the cops saying it's still safe.
Yeah.
To come to town.
Oh, well, that was 2 separate incidents actually, because you had all that retail theft that was going on right there around the corner on Market, and so there's just 100 police all over the place. And then we had that the biker gangs, I guess. We actually got video of those guys riding around, and yeah, I mean they're like quad bikes without lights and registration plates, and anyway. It looked relatively harmless to us. They were just kind of weaving in and out of traffic. They're just doing laps, and then all of a sudden, here's this guy jumping on this woman's car. And the gun falls out of the waistband. Yeah, time to go. But anyway, it's it's Philly. I love Philly. Love running up the steps still. Every time we go back.
I missed out on my opportunity to do that.
They moved the Rocky statue, by the way. It's like off into the garden now. Yeah. Had a nice.
My first Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah, Philly cheese. Yeah, we went to the railroad market. Yeah, there to get a Philly cheese. That was good.
That's good.
Very nice. Yeah, you went straight to the airport after.
I did. Yep, you guys walked out.
Yeah, we drove to Pittsburgh. Yeah, and after that we went to the Nobles conference. Yeah, good trip.
It was. So Michigan, San Diego. That's my old stomping grounds.
Yeah,
back in the Navy days.
Yeah.
So
Funny story about San Diego. We were doing a conference. You're an entrepreneurs organization, EO, national chapter, and I worked for EO for 10 years. I started 25 chapters in the United States, actually, back in the late 90s and early aughts. And Michigan National, good friend Bill Kimberlin. Yeah, Wild Bill.
I know you're watching.
Yeah, and he's gonna go, oh crap, you're sitting. But no, we did a conference in San Diego, and I stayed over afterwards. Never been in the Pacific Ocean before. And this is middle of August, and I'm like bay watching it to the water, and I got ankle deep, and I screamed. I didn't know the water was that cold.
About 67 degrees year round, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I love San Diego.
Quick side note, they're going one of the best giveaways. Bottle of whiskey with a can and 4 glasses. If I win it, I'll split it.
Who was doing that?
The Fitz guys.
That's the best giveaway.
And that's their second place gift.
Not, wow. Hey, what's first place in your fence?
First place was a cruise.
Okay, right. That's coolers, yeah. Ours bigger than ours. Yeah. AMC's giving away a bigger cooler as well. So, now I tell you what, with the nice thing about it, you know me, I'm known for good swag. I'm very particular what we put our brand name on, and I like good stuff, not junk that's going to break, and things you're going to keep, and you know, everybody at this conference really steps up their game.
Yeah.
There's some great stuff floating around merch wise here, and everybody just gets that little bigger booth. You know, everybody's you know, represent a little harder here.
They do.
So,
So, a funny swag story.
yeah.
There wasn't a swag story. A funny giveaway story. I got 2 of them. Yeah. So, I don't know what company it was. I cannot remember what company it was, but it was a piece of test. Maybe it was a piece of test. I don't know if it was a piece of test. And it broke. And they ghosted, right? I could not get a hold of them. I was calling them, hey, I need to get this fixed. Hey, I need your support. Nothing. Crickets. Well, come to PowerTest, and guess who's an exhibit? I don't know the name of the company, but they were there. And I go up to them, and I'm like, I need to talk to so. I had a name, right? Is he here? And they're like, yeah, hang on a second. And I'm like, and I just basically read this guy right? And he's put people like waiting to talk to him about what they're selling. Read him right out. And he was so apologetic, and I think we actually got the problem resolved. But not after I got a little bit of my frustration. And then he's like, all right, well, hey, maybe give me one of your business cards, and I'll drop it in our trunk. I don't want to. I said, I don't want your cooler. I want my test equipment, whatever it was. And that's what I gave him a card in. Guess who won the cooler? This guy won.
Luckiest
And
man on the-
it was a Yeti that had to be at least 4 feet long. It was the big Yeti. Like you had to carry it like not in the camera like this. So yeah, that helped. Yeah, a little bit. Except I had to get it. Although they did ship it. That's of course. And then I left it at the office. I left the company. But it's 5 or 10 minutes before the drawing. So here's my other one of my first power tests. I was in Denver, Colorado. But I'd gone around and I'd done the passport thing. You go around and get on the stick. Yeah. I'd gone around, I got all the stickers, I dropped it in the bin, little fish bowls, so I could draw it later. But I had a customer square me out. I gotta have this both right now. And so I go to where I can get some Wi-Fi, get away from the crowd and concentrate. And was not present when they were doing the drawing. I'm sitting there, I'm working. And all of a sudden, people start walking by, they're leaving the conference. I know it's over. And they're like, Coach, what are you doing? I'm like, well, you missed out on your name was drawn for the $500. I must have heard that a dozen times. People were filing out like, oh, you missed it. So I won that once.
Go play some bingo with you or something. Lucky.
Well, and of course, now I don't even bother. I missed my one shot.
We got a box full of business cards and forms there, and we're giving out those 5 coolers. So,
The octopus.
yeah, the octopus are not. That's the waterproof octopus.
Nice. Yeah.
Lake special.
As I say, you put a 12-pack in your easy. Yeah. Easy down. 12-pack. Well, hopefully you got some good leads in there too, and hopefully you made some new connections.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Of course, all of our customers here.
How is the show for you? I mean, really, you guys do this bike and rentals after this?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting because every year there's different people. And there's a pool of people, the same people, but then there's a lot of different people here. So yeah, it's I think we're well known in the river business, obviously, and as are others. And just when you think you've rented to everybody, somebody new you haven't. So there's always new people, of course, and then just solidifying your ball game. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, there's a few walking around here. That's very cool. Yeah, hat bar. Yeah, go do it real quick. Make you a hat. Yeah.
There's no line. There's a line.
Yeah, no, it's that
Ken Peterson, ladies and gentlemen. This guy right here, he's going to revolutionize electric power in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
The citizens of
Working
Puerto
on the
Rico
infrastructure.
and the tourists that want to go there appreciate it.
Nice.
Puerto Rico can. Puerto Rico can.
Hey, it is 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
We're up, and it is time to go. And most appreciated as always.
Oh, thank you so
We'll
much
do
for
a
having me
follow up
on.
soon, and we're gonna enjoy the rest of the night. We
Yeah.
got Power Bash coming up. Got some awards coming up, and
I'm going to stay for the awards because I want that second place prize. Probably.
nice. All right, cool, man.
All right.
Well, good to see you as always, and
Thanks,
thank
everybody.
you for joining us at PowerTest 2024. See you at PowerTest 2025
Orlando.
in Orlando.
Bye.
Bye.
Like it.